Hi, my name is Andres.
And what are we doing today?
We're doing the Pennywise face makeup
Cool.
on me.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, I'm going to be turning my cousin into Pennywise today. And it's going to be a very simple, easy Halloween makeup look for kids if you're looking to do something like this. And it's affordable because I'm using mostly drugstore stuff. So I got y'all. For those who want to be balling on a budget, I'm here. But as you can see, I'm basically just gluing down his eyebrows. They do say that the purple Elmer's glue is a lot better than the regular one because it's stronger, but I didn't have that, so I just kind of was just using what I had in my house. And I'm just using an eyebrow brush to make sure like I'm brushing down all of his hairs because he is a very hairy little boy and he has a unibrow. I did not know that until I started gluing his eyebrows. So that's the first step to this look. And then after, we're just gonna set the eyebrows using a translucent powder. I'm using the one from the brand Revolution. I believe it's like $8, I think. You can get it at Ulta if you want to. I feel though that a really white powder would have been better, and Revolution does carry a very white powder. So I think that would have been a lot better for this look, but I didn't have that, so I just used any translucent powder that I had. So, yeah. Then we're going to paint the face. So the face paint that I'm using is this Wet n Wild face paint. The white one came individually, so that's what I used. I think this is an oil-based face paint. Because I didn't have to use water with it, and I noticed that it started to get oily throughout the entire look. But yeah, I don't know anything about face painting or anything, so I think this is oil-based. And then something else that I want to say that I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I'm using this Glam Glow brush. Any synthetic brush would do. I used a lot of synthetic brushes throughout this look, so yeah, if you have like a regular foundation brush, that would work. Just any like foundation type, synthetic type brush would do. And then to cover up the eyes, I'm using this, it's an eyeshadow primer from NYX. It's white. I don't know exactly the name of it, but you'll know what it is when you see it. And I'm using this Morphe concealer brush to do that. This doesn't have a number or anything. It came in a set, but it's also synthetic hair. And that's what I'm using to apply that because I wasn't sure if the face paint was safe enough to use around the eyes, so I just decided to use an eyeshadow primer. And then I'm going to take this brush from Sephora. It's a concealer brush. I don't know exactly what number it is. I just know that it's dual-ended, but any concealer brush would do for this, just to blend out the primer on the eyes and make sure that there's no creasing or anything, you know? And then I'm setting the primer with the white eyeshadow from the Kat Von D Shade and Light. Is it the Shade and Light palette? No, the Metal Matte palette. And again, if you have like a white translucent powder, that would have been so much better than an eyeshadow because one, it would have been a lot faster to do, and two, it's just a lot better to set any type of concealer or oil based. And then after, I'm taking this brush from Japanesque. You can also get this brush from Ulta, and I'm using that same white eyeshadow. I can't talk. I hate doing voiceovers. I'm using that same eyeshadow to put all over to pretty much set the rest of the face paint because I did notice that it started to get a little oily. So again, that's when the white translucent powder would come through. So if you have that, it'll be a lot better than just using eyeshadow. And then I accidentally dipped into the gray when I was doing this because the brush is really thick. And I got some of the gray like on the edge, so it made it look a little dirty. And I kind of liked it. At first I wasn't a fan, but then I was like that it won't look like his face won't look so white, and it makes it look a little bit more dimensioned, a little bit more dirty. I don't know. And then I'm going to take that same gray eyeshadow from the same palette, and I'm going to place that underneath his eyes. Something that I wish I could have done instead was I should have outlined his under eyes first, like the lines. You know how when you have bags and that line, like you can tell, I should have outlined that line first to help kind of create a hollow underneath his eyes. So I say do something like that instead of just going in with the gray eyeshadow like I'm doing right now. So just kind of like outline that line that creates the bag, and just to create more of a hollow, and then start off with like purple and then move on to the gray, so like that we can have like different colors. And then as you can see, I was just setting the paint a little bit more because I'm prepping it to do the red line that Pennywise has. And then to create that red line, I'm going to be using the red, oh my goodness, the disrespect. They're cutting my grass, so I really hope you can't hear anything. Anyway, I'm using the red face paint from Wet n Wild. This one comes in a palette, so it comes with several different colors. So I'm using the red that's in that palette. And then to actually create the lines, I'm using this eyebrow brush from Anastasia. I believe it's the 14 or the 12. I just know that it's the synthetic one, not the natural haired one. And basically to do this line, I was telling him to look at me because I was trying to align it with his pupil, but then he just kept moving his eyes, so I decided to just kind of mark it on the eyebrows and go from there. First I created the line on the top and the line on the bottom, and then I created really thin lines for the little squiggly part, and then I slowly start thickening it up and trying to make them as even as possible. And if you mess up, it's not a problem. You can always go back in with some white paint to fix it and even everything out. And then now we're just going to create the nose using the same face paint, and I'm taking a smaller concealer brush, and again, this is the one from Morphe. It doesn't have a number or anything, it just comes in a set. So yeah, and I'm basically just going in with the white paint to fix any mistakes that I made and help even out the red lines that I have there. And now I'm just gonna create the mouth. I really don't know how to explain like how I'm doing this. You guys can just pretty much watch what I'm doing. I am using a concealer brush, the same one that I used to make the, no, what did I use this brush for? I don't remember, but it's that Morphe brush that I was using. So you can just kind of see what I'm doing. It helps a lot to have a reference picture. So just, if you're going to be doing this, make sure you have like a Pennywise picture on the side so you can always look back at it to see what you're doing and know what you're doing and all of that stuff. Now I'm going to go in with this powder brush from the Jaclyn Hill by Morphe collection brush set, and I'm going to go into that gray eyeshadow that we've been using, and I'm just going to place that all over the forehead. Now I'm going to take some fake blood, and this is completely customizable. You can do this to however you want it to look. First I started off with just 2 little drips on the side of the mouth, but I was like, this looks way too clean for me. Like I really want this to look messy. So I started to just put blood like all over his chin and just played around with it and brushed it like with the brush, and played around with it with the brush till it got to the liking that I want it to be. So because that made no sense, you can just watch what I'm doing and learn from there. And then lastly, to complete the look, I'm just going to put some eyeshadow all over the lid. That same gray one that we used earlier because I felt like it looked choppy without it. And yeah, that completes today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. This is my first time doing face paint, so if I can do it, you guys can do it. It's really, really easy. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
She forgot to put the glue on my eyebrows. And found my keyhole. Oh no.
Look up.
This is my scary case. Can we fast forward? It's taking a long time. Hi, Kevin.
That looks scary. Make a scary face.
Mommy, imagine if I walk around.